Hey guys, what's going on? So I have my 2008 Kia Sorento here in my driveway, and in this video I'm going to show you how to check the fluids under the hood. Checking the fluids in this car is pretty easy. The radiator fluid right here, here's the tank for the radiator fluid, and you can kind of see through it. It's translucent on the side, and it has a low mark right there, and it has a full mark right there. And if you wiggle it around, yeah, you can see that it's at the full mark. So if you're low on radiator fluid, the way to add it in on this car is right here. It says open and close on the radiator cap. And you can take that off and just add fluid to it until it gets up to the proper mark right there, which my radiator fluid is at. So here is the radiator cap. You don't want to open this when it's hot. The cap over here is for the reservoir. The radiator would take fluid from the reservoir and bring it into the radiator if it's low. If you wanted to take a look at the radiator fluid inside the radiator, you can do that when the motor is really cold. You want to make sure it's not hot. There's pressure in here, so you got to turn the cap, let the pressure out. You don't want hot radiator fluid in there because it can burn you. You can check the fluid level and put it back on. I'm not going to do it because I just got done driving for about an hour in this car. So if you come over here, the brake fluid reservoir is right here, the master cylinder, and it's kind of translucent too. You can see my brake fluid level is right there. The minimum is right here. There's like a minimum mark, and the maximum line is right here, so you can kind of see it. And if you have to top it off, the way to do that would be to take the cap off the reservoir. You can add to it and watch on the side of the reservoir until it comes up to the maximum level, and that would top off your brake fluid. So the way to check your power steering fluid level is you can come around the side, and the side of it is see-through, and you can see where my brake fluid level is at. I'll wiggle it around so it'll move for you. And there's a minimum mark right there, and there's also a maximum mark. And the maximum mark is right about there. You can kind of see it. So let me see if we can... There it is right there. You can see it a little bit better now. So I'm a little bit above the minimum. I'll probably add a little bit to it and bring it up to the maximum mark, and that's right there. And the way to add power steering fluid is to loosen the cap right there. You can put a little in, and as you add a little in, watch the side of the container, and you can see the level rise as you add a little bit of power steering fluid in there, and then you'll know when you're okay when it hits the top full mark. So if you had to add some wiper fluid to this car, it's on the passenger side in the front. It should have a blue cap like this, and it says washer fluid on it. To top it off, that's all you need to do is open up the cap right there. It should flip right open for you. And I'm actually going to top this off because it's a little low. And I believe it should hold about a gallon, but I had quite a bit in there, more than I thought. But you can fill it up till it's right about to the top like that. Leave a little bit of room for some air, and put the cap back on. If you would like to check the oil level, the engine oil dipstick should be right here on the passenger side, on the driver's side, sorry, of the engine. Then you're gonna want to pull the dipstick out. Get yourself like an old rag. I tend to buy these rags off online. I'll put a link in the description of the video to them. They're good to have. And wipe the oil off of the dipstick. Make sure the car's on level ground. Make sure the engine's off. Make sure the dipstick's seated all the way in the tube. Pull it back out. And I'm all the way to the full mark. I just changed the oil in this car yesterday, so we're right there, we're good. And if you're at the low mark and you had to add a little bit of oil in there, the oil cap is right here. You would just remove the oil cap, get yourself a funnel, and slowly top it off. Okay, so to check the transmission fluid level, the dipstick is near the firewall on the driver's side. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're on level ground. I always put a wheel chuck behind the rear tire. I've got a rock. You can get one from like Harbor Freight or Amazon if you want. You're gonna come inside, set the emergency brake, pull up on that. You're gonna want to make sure that the car is running. Put your foot on the brake, start the car up, put the car in neutral, make sure that the car holds, your wheel chock is good. Okay, so now you can remove the transmission dipstick. You're gonna wipe it off. Make sure there's no fluid on it to get a good reading. I'm gonna put it back in. Make sure it's seated. Pull it back out and check your transmission fluid level. So I'm right there. Right here is the full notch. That's the low mark, that notch right there. I'm right on the money with mine. You're gonna want to check this when the transmission is warm. And if you had to top it off, you need a transmission funnel. I'll put a link in the description of this video to these. Here's a transmission funnel. You can get them on Amazon. You put it right in there and you can top off the fluid a little at a time. You know, add a little bit in, check the fluid level. If you need to bring it up some more, add a little in. Remember, it's always easier to add a little than if you went overboard. So don't add it all in at once. Just do a little at a time until it's topped off and at the right level for you. When you're done, put your dipstick back in. Make sure it's seated all the way. And then put your foot on the brake, put the vehicle on park. You can probably turn off the emergency brake, you're in park, and then you're all set to shut the car off. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys have any other questions, leave a comment and I will reply back to you.